Hello. I am setting up the screen so we can watch this. Alright. Hello, can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if everything sounds good. I'm setting things up. Okay. Alright, cool. You can hear me. Good. I want that to be the base. Hey, Stefan, what's up? I am setting up here. Ah, you're red brand. Nice. Alright, well, I'm messing around with certain things, so let's do this. Okay. I just have to rearrange the order of some things on the screen, like this. Okay. So I'm getting set up here, you know. This is where it's gonna happen. Now I have to do my camera above it and do this. All right, we got me in the corner. We got where the video is gonna be in the main screen. Okay. What else do we want there? I need to change the volume of what do you call the freaking the video. I had it low. It used to be the window for the fireplace, so that was real low. We want it to be nice and loud. We want it to be louder than me. Hey, there's Prime. Alright. Okay. Alerts. We need to lower that volume. Hide that. Getting stuff set up, guys. How is everybody doing today? The chat box is okay. Everybody chilling. I got to work at 7:30 and like really ripped through a batch so that I can get home and do this. You know, how is everybody doing else? Everybody else doing today? All right, let's do this for now. We can make it a little bigger. You did text me, but I literally got home at 11:15 and rushed to get this up. So I haven't looked at my phone just to, look at the time and run between stuff and do what I needed to do for this to get us started. What did you say? Let me see. All right. Really? That would be awesome. You know? All right. What do we got? Who's here? Who here? Michael Superbacher, Stefan Sandwich. There are 2 cards in this set I'm interested in. That's about all. Maybe that life counter spin down, yeah. Yo, super fast. And Savannah Lion. How you doing? Welcome. I can do this one.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
That seemed jumpy. Did you hear that smooth, or was the audio jumpy like it was for me? My best band. We getting some infect today. I would be very freaking surprised if we didn't. Yeah, definitely let me know, Prime. That's pretty funny. All right. So this will be interesting. I'm looking forward to this. Like, what do they got for us? I should have eaten lunch. All right. I need to see the chat closer here. I think during it, I'm going to be pretty quiet, and I may be chatting from my phone. I think that's a good way to do it, right? Like, hello. Like that. Hello, Vrokojo and Fantalio. The Matrix video you played seems smooth. Ah, thank you. But did the audio kind of jump around? I'm not sure. And how do you like the microphone? I'm going to start recording with this audio instead of my regular audio because it's just not up to snuff, That's all. I like recording on my phone, though. Wait, here, check it out. Let's see.
Ready, Magic fans?
There you go. How do you like that
Previews for
volume?
Phyrexia, All Will Be One, are starting soon.
Let me know. This is like a
with a
preview
debut
of what
video
it's gonna be
streaming
like.
on YouTube and Twitch, hosted by me, Lady Danger. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.
So is that good or too loud? So let me know if that was too loud or appropriate. I'm trying to keep my voice lower than what's happening. So, yeah, let me know. And while you're here, hit that like. Thank you very much. Volume of this vid is way... Okay, that's good. I can work with that. I can adjust. And then I'll play it again. And you guys let me know if it's appropriate now. We're just calibrating here. Okay, here we go.
Ready, Magic
All right.
fans?
How is that
Previews for
compared to my
Phyrexia, All Will
voice?
Be One,
Is that
are starting
appropriate?
soon.
Too loud? Too
With
low?
a debut video
I'm not going to
streaming
be
on
talking
YouTube
loud.
and Twitch,
I can
hosted
also
by me, Lady
reduce
Danger.
my
Trust
volume
me,
on
you
the
won't want to
microphone
miss
like
it.
this if needed. So, good? Let me know. All right. Think it was good. It was a touch loud. Sounds good. Was okay. Can turn down the sound. Moxman seems desperate still. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna comment on the guy is he's a good guy. He helps with the market. Okay. Let's see. Yep. Setting up, make my face a little smaller. Premieres in 7 minutes. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. That's a great level right there. All right. I mean, I just bumped my volume down 2 clicks. It wasn't the end of the world. Well, I want it to be appropriately loud so that I can adjust my volume as needed. So this is going to be cool. All right. No doubt. Moxman seems... I already read that. I mean, who's Moxman? That's a great level. Level are good. Good sound level indeed. What up, Benson? Thanks for coming by, guys. Hit that like. Let's see what type of group we can get in here today. I'm going to bring this closer to me so I have it chat that's close. Yeah, that's much easier. I can chillax and do this. All right. Let's get a little dark in here. Is that too dark or is that good? Like movie viewing lights. I should mute that, huh? Yep. All right, this is going to be cool. I want to thank you guys for being here with me. I know you have other options out there, and it's cool that you're here. All right. What was that, Steph? Watch over the crew or else not. Should be good. I think when you change the chat to subscribers only, I think that kind of takes care of bots.
No, I'm afraid I just blew myself.
TCG players sucks. Why? You talking about the quality? Would you guys watch a series growing weed with me in the spring? Yeah. The thing about ganja channels, I mean, this might be changing, but ganja channels don't get pushed so much by YouTube. It's kind of tough to make headway. I don't know if that's true anymore with the laws changing, but, that's just how it used to be a while ago. I'm also going to do some other content. I might have, not on this channel, I will have additional channels if I make more content. One thing I want to do is, at work, some of the chemical work I do is pretty interesting, and the machinery and whatnot. So I think that'd be pretty good. And I always wanted to talk about anime and movies more, but I wouldn't put that on this channel. I'm not trying to mess with the MTG content of it all. If anything, it would be extra. All right, we got 3 minutes. True Travel Channel. I have a lot of videos for that too. I have so much stuff. It's a matter of uploading and taking that time. You can't make a variety content on one channel. It won't go well. Yeah, so Richie, the way the algorithm, it's weird. Like, if you have videos from years ago about technology, and then you start making gaming content about, I don't know, freaking Fortnite nowadays, and you put it on the same channel, it's gonna throw the whole thing off. You won't get as much views as we'd normally get being naturally pushed by the algorithm. That's all. I mean, you could still do it, and it's up to you. It's your channel, but I'm just saying, it makes it a little more difficult for the algorithm to catch a hold. All right, 2 minutes. I'm gonna go make sure I'm ready. Alright, premieres in 60 seconds. So, have you guys heard Mr. Mountain Jam? What's up? How you doing? Welcome. Let me see what you guys are saying. Sold a pack fresh, borderless, rented 6. Didn't get a message from buyer. TCG player alerts me they reported the card counterfeit. Oh, man. Rented 6. Jeez, that sucks. Phyrexia, all will be boring. So far, I have antler hunting, feeding my deer, and sorting random comics. No topic clear. Yeah, that's rough. Now I am opening up a case on TCG because this scammer got the card and the money back. In regards to how to push your content. Yep, Going Jones said, and he knows. Michael Subak, a little bit. That really sucks, Kylan. I agree, Savannah Lion. What the hell? YouTube views are whack. My one pack, I'm gonna reload, refresh. There it is. Starting. Premiere will begin shortly. Yep. Here, look, the chat is happening. Alright. YouTube views are whack. My one pack crack Vic short apparently has most of its views in Mexico, and I have no idea why. I'm cranking out. Yeah, I'm sorry, Kylan. That sucks. Hey, here's some good news. We'll be hanging out in Philly in a month, so they should be going live any moment. Alright. 60-something views. Hey. You know, Magic the Gathering is a very small audience. Alright. I'm gonna mute this for now because that's loud. Alright. We'll keep it muted until it starts. Cool. Here we go. Yes, 5-minute warning. Why does Wizards do these debuts on Tuesday? I know, Shadow Cloud. Literally, I got to work at 7:30 and was freaking going at when I would, like, literally batching by the time I would normally be showing up. It was, I rushed. I did everything right. I didn't freaking, kill myself for it, but I did it fast and accurate. I have probably 300 total orders on cards here with 0 issues. Jesus Christ, I can't talk today. Maybe that's because I'm hungry. Yeah, Savannah, you know what the countdown does for me specifically? It lets the alerts go out so that people can, come by. Why would eBay believe him that it was fake? Hey, it's TCG player. Yeah. 2 minutes left until it's 5 minutes left. That's funny, Richie. At least we got a countdown, right? So this is a premiere of theirs. This isn't a live show. So it's going to come on when the timer's done. Guaranteed. Turkish. Isn't that Jason Statham? What fucking movie? Buyer protection. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the problem with eBay too. And this is part of the reason why I went to just selling slab cards. Because the slab is what the slab is, and who's going to argue with that? If you're arguing with that, you're arguing with, I don't know, Beckett. It's kind of crazy. Everybody, hit that like button. Yeah, Snatch. What a good movie. Brad Pitt with his freaking... I can't even do that accent. eBay is sketchier than Discord. What's wrong with Discord? I got a Discord. Hold on. I'm going to put that link here. Copy link. Put that in the chat. All right. Everybody who's new, this is the Discord. And if you want to join it, you know, we get some news there early from what's going on. A lot of people like to put information that they find out there, and it's pretty interesting what comes up sometimes. If you want the emojis, here you go, like stuff like this. You got to be a channel member like Kylan and Solar God there. Patreon, hit the like. Yeah, I don't know what else to cover before this freaking thing starts. I'm trying to cover all the bases, so we don't got to do that later. But yes, please hit the like. Let's get this going. 30 people, not bad. Welcome, welcome. Coming on soon with this whole thing. All right. Solar God, how you doing? Okay. 40 seconds. The buyer didn't even contact me, which is even more scammy. Yep. 30 seconds. Here we go, guys. I'm unmuting it. Yes. Don't you love the emojis? I love these. I still have to put up the intro. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna be volume low. Hit the like, and if you have already, 2 more times.
The perfection of Elishanorn has to be inherited and shared by everyone.
There is no doubt in her mind that her way is the right way.
It is a great honor if you are completed and become a full Phyrexian. You either build the glory or become it, but you will be a part of Phyrexia.
Hello, Magic fans, and welcome to the debut of Phyrexia, All Will Be One.
I mean, I love the lore and
I'm
the art.
Lady Danger from the Command Zone podcast, here to help prepare you for the greatest threat the Magic multiverse has ever faced, the insidious biomechanical empire of New Phyrexia. In this set, our Planeswalker heroes are taking the fight right to the Phyrexians. So let's see what's in store for them once they arrive.
Finally, you get to see Phyrexia in all its glory, as Phyrexians themselves, and Elishanorn specifically envisioned it. There is an element of inscrutability and mystery in Phyrexia. I want people to feel a little bit like outsiders, but very curious. It's a fascinating world. That fascination comes through in the art. This gives you a pause, right? You don't know what might attack you. So for this set, we're reprinting a popular cycle of dual lands. With Phyrexia, we really get to dive into the dark surrealism, and we had to reimagine and visualize how they could be happening here in Phyrexia. We had to create new environments that would express not just the gameplay, but also this conflict between factions and how each faction carries out its influence with Necrogen, with Ichor, with Molten Metal. So we get to see these elements across the lands. The Glorious Facade is an extra layer that was built on top of the Old Mirrodin. Phyrexians have scrapped a lot of the metal in Old Mirrodin, and they have created an entire new sphere where they have built tons of monuments to glorify themselves. It's their vision for the rest of the multiverse. And the Twilights in particular are monuments to each of the Praetors. It was our way to have more Praetor presence in the set. Each of the Praetors is engaging the suns of different color manas. Shieldred's Black Sun's Twilight comes at a point where the Black Sun comes too close to the surface, and it looks very large. But as large as it looks, Shieldred rises above it, because Shieldred is all about imposing herself. Jingitaxias is grabbing the blue sun. Jingitaxias is the one who wants to study everything and exploit it for his own purposes. So his monument is doing exactly that. At a certain point in the day, the blue sun aligns with the monument to Jingitaxias in a way that it seems like he's studying it. Urabrask is reaching for the red sun in his monument. We gave him a redesign in this set to make him look more combat ready, more aggressive, and streamlined too. Urabrask, however, emphasizes individuality and uniqueness. So he never quite grabs the sun. He's the only Phyrexian who lets everyone be themselves. Vorinclex is one of my favorite Phyrexians. The monument is Vorinclex just devouring the sun. The sun comes and aligns with Vorinclex's monument in a way that it just goes into his maw. It's this Darwinian disposition to vanquish the weak. The white sun's twilight, the monument to Elish Norn, opening her hands to receive the white sun, the mana. You see a lot of like little skitterlings coming out of the monument, a bunch of Phyrexian mites. In the card, it's the mana that you use to empower yourself. You create a number of mites equal to the number of mana that you paid, and you gain an amount of life. You get incredible rewards for this. You can destroy all creatures depending on how much mana you have. And so the monument expresses that incredible power that Elish Norn is attaining and will attain. The Fair Basilica's shapes are pointing at the center, and we created actually a hallway going into the basilica. That's impressive, like any ancient Roman monument would be. You see a row of not cypress trees, but they're sinew trees. They have this shape, right? It's the flesh of all who have been taken. You see some ossified Phyrexians in the front of the building, raising their arms to the glory of Elish Norn. Elish Norn, Mother of Machines, is one of my favorite arts. All of these aspirants just dedicated themselves so much to Elish Norn that they've decided to just become ossified and placed in her throne where she sits and she raises her arm. It's not just a gesture of glory and power, but also reaching for the multiverse. Atraxa is what everyone wants to be here, an ultimate completed Phyrexian in a high position, close to Elish Norn. The art was made by Marta Nael. Such a great palette. It just gives it this surrealistic touch of otherworldly divinity. Atraxa's raising her arms. She's coming in with other angels. And the aspirants, who are humans who want to be fully completed. When we were working on Koth, we were trying to think, how can we depict a very strong planeswalker? This is a very passionate resistance fighter. He's beheaded a Phyrexian. There's other Phyrexians drowning in the molten metal that Koth is manipulating. His pose is that of confidence. Kaito represents this resistance element against Phyrexia. So you see these looming suns and you see these looming monuments, and Oil is shooting at Kaito, but Kaito is slashing through it, taking it apart. His presence and his action are literally tearing through the composition.
Yeah, I knew this.
The Eternal Wonder is cutting through a Phyrexian, but also cutting through the layer itself. This is a beautiful piece by Alex. It's made in oils. It's just a traditional painting. The Wanderer finds herself in the middle of the Hunter's Maze, and she makes quick work of it. I love the smile of confidence that she has. This is easy work to destroy a Phyrexian for her. You will definitely travel to an alien world here. Nothing is meant for regular human eyes to appreciate. You need to become completed a little bit.
In this set, the Phyrexians have the home field advantage. So what better time than now to celebrate Magic's most iconic villains with their very own special art treatment? Let's check in with the Booster Fund team for a closer look at the Phyrexians in all their slick, spine-chilling glory.
For one, worked with the team to develop all the booster fun and showcase treatments. We did a couple of full art basic lands.
That's cool.
Very kind of like traditional art in the most glorious way.
And we went slightly different direction with the set here, where we hired Mark Riddick, who's a pretty famous death metal artist, which fit the aesthetic of the Phyrexians. He worked in the mana symbols into his designs with some Phyrexian writing in them as well. They turned out really gorgeous.
The thing that we end up telling artists, I think, the most is don't make a magic card. The artist has such a strong style and aesthetic that it's almost going to that artist is like, we want your version of these. On the story building and the world side, we have this substance, this glistening oil, this ichor that the Phyrexians use to spread their contagion that's just within their entire existence. And then there's this art style of inkwash painting, which inkwash art style is so expressive and it's so bold and simple, and it's about the essence of something and not about making a picture perfect image. It's about more the feeling of what you're trying to capture. We ask the artist to really focus on certain details really carefully. So part of the composition is these big giant splashes that are like brutal and violent. And then there are very deliberate areas, both with the negative and the black space, to like show a face, to show a claw, to show like a moment of something being ripped apart.
There's so much detail too. There isn't a foreground and a background. Your eye just keeps moving around all of his artwork.
When the main set art is so detailed and has like almost these Renaissance art roots to it and delves into that representation of body horror in such a like realistic fashion, then it gives us the chance to like pull way far away from that and get way more like expressive and figurative about it. And then what we end up with is like this set of these like very abstracty, splashy things, and then this set of like this incredible detail, and then both styles just, because of their contrast, heighten each other's beauty and efficacy. So Azuri is a Phyrexianized elf, talking about like things that are elvish are usually like green tones and lighter colors and like softer. So even just taking it into the monochrome and having these big slashes of black within the art goes a really long way to giving that emotional feeling of horror and like brutality as opposed to like soft nature. The artist that worked on that has done a bunch of really beautiful inkwash art for us, and their style's a little bit softer, but it still functioned as a really strong piece of the set.
For Geth, we worked with Flavio Giron.
We focused in a little bit more on the face, I think, to get at that more natural element a little bit. Then there's the allowance for a lot of like brutality in the facial expression.
One of the coolest cards that we have, though, is the Elish Norn, Mother of Machines. I worked closely with Kogodo, a Japanese art agency, to develop a list of really interesting horror manga artists. Junji Ito is one of the most popular, well-known manga artists in the world, and certainly in the horror manga category. So it was great to have his work in this set.
One of the really interesting things about bringing this manga series also into the card set is that traditionally is also in black and white. So we have already this monochrome inkwash style, and then we have another whole genre of art that is traditionally also monochrome, but the style is actually very different, even though both have this psychological horror and unsettling quiet to them.
We focused in on the characters, minimal background, but we made sure that they were, doing the things that Phyrexians do well. Lots of aggression, lots of violence.
Whereas the ichor style, the movement is in the brushstrokes. You're seeing the movement of the artist as opposed to maybe as much of like the really well executed and like visually described that's in the manga style. Also, these cards will be featured in our Step and Complete style, which is maybe more of a contrasting inspiration we had for this, where we thought about really old fashion brands and fashion houses because they had that same kind of like monolithic like power and vision, and that to us kind of like tapped into this Phyrexianization idea of this group of beings who want to like make everything in their own image. So that led us to this idea of this repeating pattern of the Phyrexian logo and symbol.
We also have a really cool treatment coming out in a separate bundle product called the Complete Edition. This product has all new art. We did in a black on black style for this oil slick raised foil print treatment. To get to this spot, we had to commission the art in black and white. We needed to make sure that we had some movement as well, some texture.
We were able to produce what is a very simple idea into a beautiful, elegant, incredibly arresting magic card that if someone lays that across the table from you, that is a showstopper. Like the room is gonna shut down and people are gonna be like, what is that?
We also have Elish Norn, Mother of Machines, fully translated into Phyrexian.
Working on this has been so much fun because what isn't better than like evil elegance.
My favorite part is the manga cards, for sure. Junji Ito, of course.
For me, I am so psyched about those oil slick cards getting out into the world because they are some of the coolest things I've ever seen. To make something that cool, whew.
They are all so cool. I will
Oil
be
slick
collecting all of them.
only in the complete bundle.
So the cards look scary, but what makes them feel scary once you've shuffled up for a match? For more on that, let's hear from editor Matt Tabak for an All Will Be One mechanics breakdown.
And to kick things off for Phyrexia All Will Be One, what better mechanic to look at than Toxic? Toxic is a new ability found on Phyrexian creatures. If a creature with Toxic deals combat damage to a player, that player also gets some poison counters, specifically this number, the Toxic value. Paladin of Predation has Toxic 6, so if it hits your opponent, they get 6 poison counters. Why is this bad for them? A player with 10 or more poison counters loses the game. But that's not all. Bad things start happening with even a few poison counters, particularly 3. And remember that combat damage is still dealt, and Paladin of Predation smashing for 6 is probably also not fun for them. But Toxic has no effect if the creature deals combat damage to a creature or a planeswalker. A creature's power and its Toxic value aren't necessarily connected. Even if Paladin of Predation had only dealt 1 combat damage to a player, the player it dealt damage to would still get 6 poison counters. So Toxic and combat abilities like Trample get very interesting. With Toxic, it's all about poisoning your opponent. 10 is great, that ends the game, but there are other benefits too. Even if you can get them to 3 poison counters, you're going to turn on abilities called Corrupted. Corrupted abilities are all about an opponent having 3 or more poison counters. There are all kinds of corrupted abilities. The last ability of the Seed Core is an activated ability that requires a corrupted opponent to be activated, while Skrelv's Hive has a static ability that requires a corrupted ability to, well, do anything. There are instants and sorceries that get better if there's an opponent with 3 or more poison counters, and more. In multiplayer games, you only need one of your opponents to have 3 or more poison counters, not all of them. But all of them is better if you can manage that. Corrupted abilities are powerful, but don't forget the end game with most poison strategies. A player with 10 or more poison counters loses the game. Phyrexia is a machine, and that machine needs fuel. And in this set, that fuel is oil counters. A lot of cards in this set put oil counters either on themselves or on other permanents, and you're gonna find all kinds of bonuses that care about oil counters. Just like Phyrexia, you can take advantage in any way possible. More of that strange oil. Oil counters appear all over Phyrexia All Will Be One. Some cards, like Urabrask's Forge, put oil counters on themselves, and use those counters to do all kinds of stuff. In the Forge's case, that's spit hot fire in the form of Phyrexian horrors, each one bigger than the last. Oil counters don't have any inherent meaning, so look at each card to see what effects the oil counters have. Some cards care about how many permanents with oil counters on them you control. Other cards move oil counters around. Things get out of hand very, very quickly, but it's probably nothing. And to help the oil spread, we are bringing back one of the most popular mechanics Magic has ever done, Proliferate. And it's not just oil counters. Any kind of counter that you happen to be playing with, Proliferate will help you spread the love. Proliferate is a returning keyword action that's all about counters. And not those counters, those counters. To proliferate, first choose any number of players or permanents that already have counters on them. Now for each of them, and for each kind of counter it has, add another one. Your opponent has 2 poison counters, they're getting a 3rd. Your Elish Norn has a +1/+1 counter, make it 2. You don't have to choose every player or permanent with a counter. If your Elish Norn had a stun counter on it, you don't have to add another one. If Norn had a +1/+1 counter and a stun counter, you have a choice to make. Give her 1 more of each counter, or leave the good Praetor alone. Proliferate's back, and Phyrexia All Will Be One is packed with ways to capitalize. Spread the word. It's easy to look around Phyrexia All Will Be One and think that things are kind of bleak, but there is hope. If you're looking to resist Phyrexia, there is a mechanic for you, Vermiridan. Vermiridan is a triggered ability found on equipment that come with their own wielder. When an equipment with Vermiridan enters the battlefield, you create a 2/2 red rebel creature token, then attach the equipment to it. For Blade of Shared Souls, that means you can take advantage of its other ability right away, and at no additional cost. From there, it's an equipment like any other. so you can use its equip ability as a sorcery to attach it to a different creature you control. If you're ready to fight back against the Phyrexian menace and show them what a real living weapon is, for Mirrodin. Phyrexia All Will Be One brings back some old-time favorite mechanics and has a lot of new, innovative mechanics. Whether you've been playing Phyrexian decks for years or whether it's your very first time, there's something in the set for you. Make sure that your opponents and your play group and your friends, everyone you know, will be complete.
Now that we know what each side is bringing to the table, let's have a look at how the design team built tools like Corrupted and For Mirrodin for the All Will Be One commander decks.
When we start making the commander decks for the corresponding set, we're usually trying to look at that set flavorfully and mechanically and seeing what can we pick from there, what's going to be the most resonant kind of deck archetypes coming from there. For this set, Phyrexia All Will Be One, we have one deck based on the Phyrexians, the Corrupting Influence deck, and one deck based off of the Mirrans, the Rebellion Rising deck. For the Phyrexian deck, we have our commander Excel, which is a Phyrexian angel. The main purpose of this deck is to give kind of a definition to a Phyrexian commander deck in general. Phyrexians don't have a lot of identity base in commander, and so we thought focusing on the poison aspect with the new mechanics Toxic and Corrupted would be a great direction to go with Excel and the deck in general. When we're making a commander that wants to encompass more of the Phyrexians, we want to find a color identity that not just feels right for the Phyrexians, but has a very inclusive umbrella of other cards. So there's lots of green poison cards and white poison cards and Phyrexian cards that you can add to Excel's deck. From the very beginning of this set, we knew we wanted to try our hand at a poison deck. Not only was it very rich for the Phyrexians, but we were just really curious to see how we could make poison work and more fun for a broader audience. Poison is traditionally a divisive mechanic in Commander, but we thought using the Corrupt mechanic would be a really good way to bring the fun of poison, which is poisoning your opponents, without bringing more of the unfun components where maybe you're defeating your opponents too fast through poison. Excel's a little bit different. Using the Corrupt ability, you want to poison your opponents lightly as fast as you can. Once you have them poisoned, you're going to be drawing cards from their own decks, really being the villain of the story and getting a lot of card advantage through the game. So Nayali is the head of the Mirran deck and our representative from the Rebellion side. This red-white commander wants you to be more aggressive using creature tokens. The commander itself gives your attacking creature tokens double strike, which is a great way to put on their aggression and pack a big punch. This card also provides a lot of card advantage for continuously attacking with your creature tokens. Red-white usually has this weakness of having a lot of cards to play in the game, but Nayali will really help you keep it up in the later turns. The Rebel creature type actually comes from an old set of Magic the Gathering. Rebels used to have a completely different identity, and here we're actually bringing them up in a whole new context. The For Mirrodin mechanic makes these 2/2 rebels. Those are creature tokens. Nayali loves creature tokens. Nayali's in the Rebellion. Let's make this deck about rebels. So we have those kind of spritzes of rebels all among the deck. The characters we put on the front of commander decks have a huge platform and a great way to display a lot of the themes of the stories and the characters we want to show off. Typically, we're working with world building to figure out who's the best fit there and what is the best thematic fit for the decks. What's really interesting about Phyrexia All Will Be One is it takes us to a completely different aesthetic world than we've ever seen before. We've seen Phyrexians here and there, and we've seen how creepy and macabre they can be, and now we have a world that is dominated by this creepy, macabre aesthetic, and it's a very different direction, and I think it's going to appeal to a lot of people who really loved what inklings we got of the Phyrexians in the past.
Switching back to the main set, Magic's play design team is responsible for taking all the different elements of a set and blending them into a cohesive gameplay experience. Let's join lead designer Andrew Brown to hear how the team brought the Phyrexians to life.
The first thing we always want to try and do is make sure that we capture the feel that we're trying to make the players feel like when they're playing the games. Phyrexia is a very popular place. You feel like you're there and you're immersed in this wild place of alien monsters and dripping claws of poison. Yeah, that's our initial
really
goal,
cool.
is just to make sure that you feel there and you're immersed within this world of
I do love the art.
crazy Phyrexia. Who's king of the mites? That's where the idea of Skrelv was born. Skrelv is the only legendary mite creature that we have. So mites are a new token type where they are 1/1s with Toxic 1, but they can't block. It was a funny quest to make king of the smallest things. And what does that do? I guess it protects all of its subjects. Another thing we wanted to accomplish with mites was the feeling of you're being overwhelmed. Normally when we have zombie tokens, they'll enter tapped or something, but with mites, we wanted to go with something different. Since they can't block, you can't really use them to defend yourself, so it's all about growing the swarm to eventually overrun your opponents. Glissa was one of my favorite cards as a teenager. When I first opened it in a pack, I saw that it had First Strike and Death Touch. And then I asked, so what happens when someone blocks this? And they're like, oh, it automatically dies because of First Strike and Death Touch. And at the time, that was one of the most ridiculous things I'd ever heard. When we were given the task of, oh, hey, you have to redesign a new Glissa for Phyrexia, like instantly my head was like, okay, we have to put First Strike and Death Touch on this card just to keep that feel of I'm gonna defeat you in combat no matter what. And hopefully somebody down the line can have that exact feeling that I had opening it and just being like, this is ridiculous, I love this. Melira was an interesting problem because previously all of Melira's cards are anti-poison. In the story, she's one of the only people from Mirrodin to be totally immune to the Phyrexian invasion/infection. Melira is still protected from all of these evil forces, and especially the toxic and the glistening oils. She can save stuff, she stops you from being poisoned as fast. So we want to capture the feel of a character that's immune, but also willing to sacrifice herself for the greater good. Mondrak was a lot of fun to come up with because the creative department told us that we needed 5 Phyrexian gods. It's a very cool concept, but also a daunting task at the same time. Normally in Magic, we associate god creatures with some way to come back or some way to reanimate themselves, which looks awesome, but has a lot of gameplay issues because you don't want to play against the same card a bunch of the time. I was really happy with the solution we found where you pay a ton of resources and also life to eventually make them indestructible, merging the gameplay of regular gods, which is I come back, it's hard to kill me, and Phyrexians, which is like I'm going to win at any cost. I'll sacrifice any number of things just to make myself more powerful. Designing the Phyrexian Planeswalkers was a pretty big challenge. It took us a long time to vet out what does it mean to be a Phyrexian Planeswalker. We tried so many different things. We tried activating life instead of loyalty, and they're definitely more powerful because they've added this Phyrexian element to themselves, but it does come at a cost to their own power. With the completed mechanic, if you spend that extra life to cast the Planeswalker, it's going to come in with less loyalty.
Yeah, it reduces the amount of loyalty.
A lot of previous Jace cards, would take instants and sorceries from your graveyard and let you play them again, reusing stuff, relearning stuff. This Jace is very different. All this one cares about is the quantity of cards in graveyard. All he wants to do is make someone lose their deck as fast as possible, whether it be you or your opponent. Because with the minus, you really want to get those 20 cards in your graveyard so you can really get that draw card to the bonus of draw 3 cards. I'm definitely most excited about all 5 Phyrexian Planeswalkers. Earlier in the years, we've been teasing them out with Tamio, now Ajani, and now we have all 5 of them released, and it's going to be really awesome to see how all the fans react. Generally, we want to make sure that people feel the entire range of emotions. So, unfortunately, Jace, you are now Phyrexian, so they'll just have to live with that.
Whether you're planning to embrace Phyrexian perfection or stand firm against the spread of corruption, we hope you've enjoyed this look into Phyrexia. All will be one. You'll be able to join the fight at pre-releases, on Arena and Magic Online, and in stores starting February 10th.
So way before.
And be sure to check out Commander parties being held on March 10th. Now to close things out, we've got one last treat for you. The premiere of the official cinematic for All Will Be One. We hope you enjoy.
Pain is the sign of your imperfection. The flaw at the center of all that you are. But your suffering is at an end. We offer you freedom from flesh. Your realms are diseased, and we are the only cure. can either kneel before this throne or become a part of it. All will be one.
Well, that was cool. Let me fix what we got going over here. All right. Wow. What do you guys think of that? Like, that was pretty interesting, no?
Hey everybody, it's the Twiddler
Oh,
again.
hey,
I know it's been a
Twiddler.
while, but here's another lunchtime pack crack. This
Go
time
check
it's
out
for
Twiddler. He's
BMAC.
good. He's got some interesting games going on at night. Remember to hit the like button. You know, I want to thank you for coming by. I'm not quite done yet. I want to know what you guys think. What do you think of this set? Are you interested in anything about it? I mean, the one thing that I liked was the Phyrexian gods. And, you know, that was, the art is pretty interesting too, but guys, come on. I don't see anything of value, like, at all. I don't know. Yeah, that's how it ended. Oh, man. It's pretty funny. The Twizzler, yeah, he's coming. He's going to be full-on Twizzler tonight, you know, later on. So, guys, yeah, listen, the Phyrexian Complete Bundle. I think if there's one product in the whole thing that's going to be, like, that's going to lose the least percentage, it's going to be that Phyrexian Complete Bundle. I don't know. Guys. How can anything there be valuable or worth anything? How, when there's 9 different variants of everything, I just don't see it. Are you guys going to buy anything besides with the Complete Bundle? Like, I don't know. What are you going to buy? Are you going to buy the collector's edition, I guess? What else would you get? Think it might be a good set to play with, says MTG Hillbilly. I'm here for it. I'm incredibly hyped. Making a master set of sealed and singles for my wall. Wow. That's interesting, Jam Day. It's just going to be printed to oblivion, so I'll wait for singles. Might not even buy those either. It's going to go down, yeah. How was it? Did I miss much? No. It's pretty much exactly what you expected. I haven't bought a box in years and was really excited for the set, but meh, I'm sad. LOL, says 7. That sucks, bro. This is why I just buy old stuff, and I'm trading in a lot in Philly for some old stuff. I'm interested in that. I fell asleep, woke up at Jace. Goodbye, Jace. That's about something that we had, I guess, confirmed again, that hopefully that whole freaking boring arc will end. The flavor is okay, but not as mind-blowing as I thought. I'm a little disappointed. Yeah, I agree. I kind of figured it was going to be like this. I'll play it on Arena, that's about it. I'll eventually get some paper singles for my Atraxa Infect Commander. Interesting. I get that opinion too, like just a light touch. You don't have to go crazy with it. Foil Might tokens, okay. I'm going to wait for it to just be dumped on Amazon. Yeah. You better believe that shit's going to happen. Complete bundle. Why would folks buy collector when there's complete? Will complete cards be in collectors? No. So, the thing about complete, though, is it's only mythics, and there's like 20 cards it's drawing from, so the whole set isn't pullable in there. And the other types of does the complete bundle have a collector's edition too? No, I don't think so. I think it's just set packs. It's like a complete collector version 2. You miss a parade of 37 different Alesh variants. Yep. Alesh repeated. Only complete, maybe a few singles if they appeal to me. New Phyrexia is my favorite modern set, and it feels like I'm watching little tykes make a kid version of it. That's kind of funny. I'll trade you some quality hoagies and cheesesteak for vintage Magic cards, says Casey. That's funny. You know, the way to buy cards. I wouldn't suggest anyone else make master sets for value. I just love Phyrexia. I even have my daughter's name tattooed in Phyrexian. Nice, that's a good one. It's a new type of booster. Another Phyrexian middle set. Yeah, look, guys. They're trying, right? They're trying what? I don't know. They're at least making Phyrexian stuff. We've been asking for it. We wanted Phyrexian stuff since New Phyrexia, since I guess the whole Phyrexia and threat in Urza's saga. Really, we didn't even see that much Phyrexian stuff. So yeah, it's kind of like now we're getting Phyrexian stuff, but is it what we wanted? Is it what we asked for? I don't know. You got to be careful what you ask for, right? Love that, Jay. Buying old stuff, he says. Yeah. Trying to lose more customers. Indeed, Wayne. It's... I don't know if I like it. They're trying to milk it, indeed. It's like... I don't know how much more they can get out of us. They're not going to get much out of me. I just can't. You know, I can't afford it. Like a lot of people. Well, I guess I could, but these other things to be spending on, you got to spend on life, right? Like paying off freaking mortgages and stuff. You can't just be a silly person and freaking think that cardboard is going to be everything. They're focusing hard on Commander in the set. Obviously so, but it still hurts my soul a little. Yup. Is a completed booster or some junk like that. I hate that there are set boosters in bundles. Yeah, I agree. That's the only thing you're looking for in the complete bundle is the complete booster, one pack. So it's like the rest is whatever. Trying to lose more customer. Yeah. So anyway, I guess it's kind of what we expected. A little boring, right? A little bit of what we've been getting, which is just a bunch of variants that hold very little value. What else? We got a bunch of different art. That's cool and all. I don't know, guys. Like, it was interesting. That's all. Anyway. Spend it on delicious sarsaparilla. Freaking build mass with sass, right? Freaking Fallout, isn't that? Reprint all will be one. That's funny. It's gonna happen immediately. Okay, my freaking counter just glitched out. Boring is the perfect descriptor. Yeah, right? It's just another set that's coming out a month after the last one. I only have so much money to spend on MTG. They need to slow down. True. I agree, Apex. There's no reason to try and keep up. You just can't do it and be responsible with your life. Neither, Ed. I'm still paying off my Baldur's Gate mistake. I should have listened to you back when you said not to buy. Yes, Wayne. I said, wait. And, I mean, if you really want to buy it now, it's like, okay, but it's going to be tough reselling it and making profit. Saving for a box of Theros, original Theros, because that's cool. I like opening the old stuff. That's so much more fun than opening any of this newer stuff nowadays. So, yeah. All right. What is everybody else doing today after this whole freaking thing? I might do a little bit of recording. I'm going to try and record with this setup so we can get this type of sound. You know, the audio in my videos is lacking, and I'm trying to up that. The flavor is high, but the artwork on Magic now kills me. It feels like I'm looking at the same cards again and again. Yes, Seven. I kind of agree with that. I wish there was more, you know, like Teton-esque type stuff. That really fantasy-looking art that you can tell is freaking quality. Half the chat was open, hashtag open D&D. Really, Andrew? That's kind of cracked out. People were freaking like protesting live, huh? That's interesting, bro. All right, it refreshed itself. Silly, man. Anyway, what else do we got here? We'll be working until 2. We'll play Flesh and Blood this evening, says Ike. Interesting, Ike. You know, I've been hearing a lot more people say how they're going towards Flesh and Blood, and I don't blame them. Flesh and Blood is a good option too. Personally, I have been doing a little bit of looking into Cryptic. I enjoy that that kind of art as well, and it's nice to get in early on something. I don't know how. I got in on what's it called, Flesh and Blood, at the exact wrong time, and it burned a lot of people. I'm one of those. I had a bad experience. So if you had a bad experience and you look at it and you're like, there's no need to be continually involved with that product. You don't need to feel like that. So yeah, personally, I am done with Flesh and Blood. Maybe in the future. Right now, it's not for me. Right now, Cryptic. I like that better. Travis, how you doing? It's so funny. That's cool that they were freaking letting their voices be heard during that live, at least. How about Wixos? Casey, do you mean Vice? Cannabis. It's a TCG to follow. That's right. The freaking ganja TCG. I forgot that happened. Cannabis is cool. Cannabis is cool also. Interesting. I haven't seen much about that. I need to check it out. What happened to our Phyrexian lens? They were there. Super fast tortoise. Oh, you talking about wastes? Oh, yeah, you're right. The freaking wastes where it's just colorless, right? No, that's Eldrazi. Phyrexian lens. What Phyrexian lens? You talking about for the Scars of Mirrodin ones? Those are coming out, I think, in March of the Machines, right? How can we get the Cryptic? Oh, the freaking deck of cards to play like poker, but also Cryptic. They're gonna have Kickstarter for it because it's easier to organize how many people bought what, and the backer kit, it's easier to order more or less. Excited for more. Sorcery will be on the way. I am interested to check it out. They've been so slow and really dragging their ass with getting their game out there. All fabbed out. I got Cryptic cards up on eBay right now. 2 riddle box cards. Just look up Cryptic Tuesday auction house if you're interested. Yeah, they sell well. You'd be surprised. Check out Cryptic on eBay. I am surprised by how much it sells. Yeah, for real, Travis. I'm just hoping Sorcery is not a disaster. I'm kind of interested in playing Cryptic, though. I wish I had the time to play anything. I'd be playing a little bit of Cryptic, and I'd want to make an old school deck. I wanted to. I backed Sorcery, Contested Realms. I backed that as well. And again, I'm kind of disappointed at how long they're taking to do their thing. So how many secret layers will be made from this set? Oh my god, Apex of the Avatar. I've been thinking Anointed Procession hasn't been reprinted, needs a reprint, and it's kind of like, I think that's a perfect card. It fits in with the flavor for a Phyrexian secret lair. I'm just saying. I'm going to get rid of mine. So how many secret? I back Sorcery. Chumley is hard into Cryptic, if that tells you anything. Freaking guy. I don't even know what to tell you about that guy. Play quiz show host. Oh, quiz show. I don't have any I don't have any freaking trivia right now. I back Sorcery also, but a little scared for it with the delays and all the TCGs hitting at once. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they got their stuff out, they would have been the top of the mountain in terms of new TCGs. Play most by far is Gods Unchained. Interesting. I'm eager for Interstellar Space-based TCG dropping in March. That's curious. I like the idea of that. I'm a cyberpunk dystopian future type motif. I like that type of stuff, like Blade Runner. So yeah, anything in that motif I tend to gravitate towards, like Fallout. Yeah, definitely sounds interesting. I liked Shadowrun back in the day. That was a freaking great game. All right. So what else do we have here? Final thoughts on this? I don't know. Should I wrap it up? Are you guys hanging? What's going on here? What do we got? Fly around in a spaceship, gathering resources until you attack your opponent. That's pretty cool. All right, guys. I think sorcery gameplay will make or break the game. The art is killer. The art is really killer. And that's what I like about sorcery and cryptic is that they're adult type games. It's not like MetaZoo where it's aimed at kids. It's really aimed at the older crowd. And I like that. I want it to be aimed at the older crowd. I am the older crowd, you know? So, yeah, I appreciate that it's aimed at the older crowd. All right. Well, look, guys, I want to say thank you for coming by. It's very nice to have you here. Hit the like if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. Between no competitive support and annual releases, Sorcerer feels like it wants to compete with Settlers of Catan, no other TCGs in my opinion. Yes, kind of I agree with you. Like an oddly collectible board game. It's strange. I'm down to hang, but it's up to you. It's your stream. MetaZoo art makes my eyes bleed. Oof, yeah. Cosmic wants to hang. I know Stefan wants to hang. Savannah the Lion is going for a coffee, no doubt. I hope Sorcery makes a good client to test online. True. Bye. All right, guys. So, yes. Thanks for coming by. I'm wrapping it up now. It's time. People want to hang. No, it's time to wrap it up. All right, guys. So, let's stick to tradition and end it on a nice take care, everybody.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you. I'm out.